Hey Jews, there are a lot of Jews that since October 7th have been waking up to their Jewish identity in a way that they were not previously connected to it before October 7th and before all the rise in anti-Semitism all around the world, and especially now with all the protests and everything that's happening. So my goal is to help clue you in to basically what's happening in the reality according to the Torah. Now, we need to understand that the nation of Israel became a nation when we got the Torah. So I know that there are a lot of people who have no connection with the Torah and may not even believe in God, and that is okay. That's okay that happened. There's lots of explanations for why that happened. However, at a certain point, we need to go back and take a look at this situation. Okay, and understand that some things in our reality at this point in the year 2024, which is actually the year 5784 in the Jewish calendar, and understand the bigger picture, okay? Because so many things are very, very important. And it doesn't matter to me too much right now, okay, if you disagree with what I'm going to say, okay? But please listen like a judge, okay, and not like a lawyer. Meaning, don't listen to defend your current position and to, whatever. Listen, and at some point, hopefully this information is going to be useful to you, and you will understand that the Torah is for every Jew, and we need the Torah in order to understand our reality, which is 5-dimensional. It is 3-dimensional in the physical. It is one-dimensional. One dimension is spiritual, and one dimension is time. And this dimension, the spiritual dimension, is explained and given to us in the Torah. That is what the Torah is. Horaot means instructions. So it's a guidebook. Okay, so it's just a guidebook of how to look at our spiritual dimension. Okay, and to integrate it with the physical dimension, and to integrate all of that with the time dimension, and to understand reality a little bit better. And there are lots of things right now, and again, I'm not a rabbi, but you know what? There are a lot of people on the internet and out there in the world that have kippah, that have a yarmulke, whatever, on their head. They have grown a long beard. They wear white shirts and black pants or whatever they do, and they look like rabbis to you, but they're also not rabbis, okay? And that's the situation, okay? So I'm dealing with reality, with actual things that are happening, not what we wish would happen, not the ideal, because we're pretty far away from that, guys. And it's a wake-up call, okay? Anti-Semitism anyway is a wake-up call from God, and he is doing this to wake you up. And guess what? It is waking you up. You're now awake. Boker tov, good morning. We're now a little bit more awake, okay? Because the nation of Israel, what good does it do the world? What good would it have done? Why would God have even created a nation of Israel just to become blended in and assimilated with all the other nations? Like, what would be the point of that? When actually we're told what the point is, that the point was to create a special nation with a special relationship to God, a special relationship with a guidebook that would help us understand our 5-dimensional reality. And therefore, we would know what's going on in the world, okay? But again, many things have happened. We've drifted away. We've come to think, okay, for many different reasons, that we don't need the Torah. We don't need God. We can be Jews, okay, just like Buddhists can be Buddhists, and just like Hindus can be Hindus, and you could be any nationality and think in those terms, or, practice those spiritual beliefs, okay? But that's because we have gotten very far away from the Torah, and we don't understand this element of reality properly, okay? And the Ramchal, in his book Le'Yasharim Teila, which I'm learning from Rabbi Kalazan, who I really suggest everybody go and start listening to Rabbi Kalazan, okay? I mean, literally Google any topic that you're interested in. Rabbi Kalazan has many classes in English, and I think that is very relatable. So especially if you have never really given Torah classes a chance, please familiarize yourself with Rabbi Kalazan. Also familiarize yourself with Rabbi Miller, Avigdor Miller. Rabbi Avigdor Miller, okay? And today I think is his yard site. So, לעילוי נשמת Rabbi Avigdor Miller, זכותו יגן עלינו ועל כל עם ישראל. He was a contemporary rabbi who was born in New York, and he was educated in Slobodka, in the yeshivot of old Europe, okay? And he was around during the Holocaust. I'm going to link his book, A Divine Madness, which I do in every single last one of my classes pretty much. But this is information that we need to know. These are rabbis that we can trust, because there's a lot of false information out there. And so, like I was saying, in the Ramchal's book of Le Shirim Tehillah, he explains that at the end of time, okay, that basically a big lie in the world has taken root, okay, and especially talking about the Jews, because again, this channel is called From Me to Jew, and I am specifically and only talking about the Jews to try to help the Jews understand our reality as it is given in the Torah. None of this is my opinion. Okay? It's not my opinion. But I grew up and I lived most of my life without any knowledge of the Torah, without believing in God, without knowing really the history of the nation of Israel. Okay? Loving the state of Israel, glad it was here because I thought it would save us from another Holocaust. Blah, 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 just like most of us today, which is not true, as we saw on October 7th. So again, I'm only interested in dealing with actual reality. I'm not interested in what if, could if, what if. No, let's look around us. Let's be honest, okay? Because there is an objective truth, okay? And truth doesn't change over time. And not everybody has their own truth. Truth is unchanging, okay? And it is in our guidebook that God gave us in the Torah. So, as I was saying, the Ramchal says that at the end of time, basically this whole lie that has been deeply rooted in our reality is going to start to be shaken up. And it's going to cause a lot of people to wonder what's going on. Okay? But these people are so invested in the lie. It's your whole identity to believe that Judaism is the same as Zionism, and that Zionist religious whatever, it's just the same, and there's just different flavors of Jew, just different levels of adherence and whatever to the Torah. You can be atheist all the way up to ultra orthodox, okay, and everything in between, and that's all legitimate, and that's what we believe. But guess what, guys? That's actually a lie, and I know it's not great to hear that, and you're probably gonna be like, no, but hear me out again as a judge. Just don't make your decisions just yet to defend your client, the lie, your Reform Judaism, your conservative Judaism, your cults that were actually banned by the smarter people of previous generations, including the Gaon from Vilna, who banned them 3 times. 3 times. Okay? So there are a lot of lies in our world that are comfortable. They're comfortable for us because we don't want to live by this guidebook, because we think that it restricts us. We think that it makes us so different, and because of that, people aren't going to like us. But guess what, guys? Like in the 1930s and 40s, in this year, look around you and take a look at how many people like you mixed in with them in Columbia University. How many people like you mixed in at UC Berkeley. Okay? And I'm not saying there aren't people that are like supporting you and blah, blah, blah. But the fact is, there is there is a bigger picture here. There's actually the picture of reality, and there actually is the truth. And guess what? Some of the people in our world also know the truth. Okay? They know the truth. Somewhat. To some degree. But they're aware of this. Probably more than just the random layperson is. Okay? And they have an agenda. And it's all laid out there. And guess what? The state of Israel is an integral partner in this agenda, okay? For the fourth industrial revolution, okay? It's one of the 19 centers of the fourth industrial revolution for this agenda, okay? So what I'm trying to say again is that we all grew up thinking since the Holocaust that the state of Israel will ensure that never again, okay, will ensure that we will never experience another Holocaust. But where did the last Holocaust occur? That everyone, including the WEF Freemason leaders of the state of Israel, said it happened here. Okay, so we know now that that's a lie. We can now see the lies if we are willing to see them. If you're not willing to see them, then fine. Don't come at me in my comments telling me I'm ignorant and this and that. I'm seeing the truth as it's explained in the Torah, as all of our actual rabbis will tell you. Okay? So that is a lie. There's a lie that you don't want to admit is a lie because it shakes up your whole life and your whole reality. Okay? But isn't it being shaken up already? Isn't anti-Semitism shaking you up already? And don't you think that in Germany, in a very civilized, which it was, Germany was very civilized. Germany was very advanced in culture, in music, in science, and a lot of those Jews had everything they needed. They were in beautiful houses, they were mixed in with society, they had great jobs, they had a lot of money, and those Jews also were herded into the cattle cars and into the concentration camps. Okay? So again, I'm not going to go into the whole trauma bonding because maybe that's too much for you to understand it or to accept. Maybe that's just too horrible, okay? Even though this is pretty horrible to accept, okay? Your smart cities, your 15-minute cities, your global credit scores, your social credit scores, and your digital ID and all that stuff. Maybe that should be hard to accept also, okay? So the fact is that the nation of Israel became a nation when we accepted the Torah and we promised that we would fulfill what's in the Torah. And that by the Torah, by understanding this reality as it's given in our guidebook, we remain mentally free because they have ways to manipulate your view of reality, to manipulate you, to subdue you into the matrix. Everything's fine in the matrix. You're fine mixed in until you're not. Okay? Until you're not. Okay? So, without getting too crazy in this, what I do really want to say is that the state of Israel, okay, is not our savior. It's not our savior from a Holocaust. And we have the proof of that. Do you need more proof? It's not our savior. And it has replaced in most Jews' consciousness that are not, we don't believe in God, we don't worship God, we don't do the Torah, we don't do anything that's written in the Torah, including Shabbat, including keeping kosher, including anything which would open our minds a little bit, open our hearts a little bit to even understanding what's written in it, because we've mixed in, because we're now Agent Smith of the Matrix defending the state of Israel. Okay? And now, specifically, in this year, okay, when we are at war And we are all over the world seeing this whole narrative of Palestine versus Israel. And you are taking a side, okay, that is this. And now you're going to probably celebrate and probably make a public statement of Israel Independence Day, which is next week, which probably in the past you haven't done that. You've always known that Israel's here. It has its Independence Day, whatever. But now you're invested. Now you're going to go show that we have the right to exist and we have the right to our own state. And therefore you're going to celebrate and you're going to mark the Independence Day of the State of Israel this year. When all I'm saying is, look, you guys, the nation of Israel that accepted the Torah and has survived throughout history, all of the things that have happened, miraculously survived, okay? Because in every generation, they rise up to kill us, to annihilate us, okay? And so all of the holidays that we celebrate that you may jokingly say, they tried to kill us, they didn't succeed, let's eat, okay? But they didn't succeed, okay? And there was never a state of Israel up until after the Holocaust, okay? However that came to be, who cares at this point, okay? You want to fight with me about the details, about this person had this idea and that person, and then there have always been Jews who have always lived in the land of Israel. Okay, there's a bakery here that was established in 18 something, okay? Who cares? Not talking about that right now. I don't really care to sit and bicker back and forth about the details of stuff that I know are not true, okay? So if you want to remain asleep, go ahead. That's your free choice to remain asleep and enjoy the WEF Global Agenda 2030. When you're locked down, maybe you'll remember this lesson and you'll think to yourself, wait a minute, maybe there is a God. Because probably we're not going to be happy, contrary to what they say, when you eat the bugs, and you will be happy when you will own nothing. You will own nothing and you will be happy. Okay? Because who is smart, says our Pirkei Avot, the wisdom of our fathers of the nation of Israel, who saw reality clearly because of the Torah. They say, who is smart? People who can see what's coming up in the future. And now we don't even have to be smart because they tell us openly. Okay? So what I'm saying is this year, don't celebrate the independence of the state of Israel. Please don't celebrate it. Why? Because as the nation of Israel, who has been saved from our encounters with the other 70 nations who wanted to annihilate us, kill us in every single generation and have not succeeded because we are the holy nation who accepted the Torah, and up until the Haskalah movement, which was right before the Holocaust, about 150 years, 200 years before the Holocaust, there was no such thing as Reform Judaism. There was no such thing as atheist Jews. There was no such thing as all those things because that's not congruent with the whole concept of Judaism. Okay? Getting back to the Ramchal in a minute, okay? Because, okay, right now, that he says that at the end of time, basically this whole lie that's taken root is going to be shaken up, and you're going to be shaken, okay? And then, but the thing is that a lot of people who are invested in that lie, okay? You are Agent Smith. I'm a proud Zionist. I'm a Zionist religious person who worships the state, okay? I'm an atheist Jew. You're not going to be able to even be receptive to the truth, to the unchanging objective truth, until the Amud Atavach, the supporting beam of this lie crumbles. And I'm guessing, okay, this is just me guessing, that this is the state of Israel. Okay, so you right now, wherever you are in the world, may still feel like as long as Israel, the state of Israel, the Zionist state of Israel, which is a modern day Sdom, okay, come here and say everyone's so proud about how gay friendly it is and whatever. Sdom was destroyed by God. Okay, and there is actually evidence of all of that. If you want to come and look for all of that evidence in the Dead Sea area. But you're not going to perhaps be convinced that you're living a lie until the supporting beam of that lie falls and crashes down. And I am saying to you, I don't care about being right. I don't care about being popular. I don't care about growing my channel. I don't care about any of those things. I'm literally trying to help you, Jew, wake up before that happens, because then you're going to have a really hard time accepting reality. Or we're going to have a really hard time accepting our reality when we're all locked down nice and snugly into our 15-minute cities, eating bugs and owning nothing, unless you are a member of the WEF, like our darling Freemason heads of the state of Israel are. Okay, so probably they're going to enjoy that, but the rest of us are probably not. So again, what the nation of Israel has wanted for our entire existence is one thing, is actually the return to our land to build the temple. Since 1948, if that was the goal of the state of Israel, then I'm sure we would have achieved that goal. Okay? But we have not. And there has been there's actually been a lot of movement away from that goal by eliminating the Torah in the land of Israel. So what the Hellenistic, the Hellenizers tried to do in the story of Hanukkah, when they tried to destroy us spiritually. Okay, whereas the Romans and everyone else tried to destroy us physically, they tried to destroy us spiritually. They were not successful. But who is successful? Yes, the Zionists. They are successful in diverting our spiritual growth, our spiritual information, and diverting us from putting all our hope and faith in God, which is what the nation of Israel is supposed to do, and instead, don't need any of that, don't need this, just this, and celebrate it every year, guys. Celebrate it, like, thank God they're here. Thank themselves that they're here. Because now, never again, not another Holocaust. Except, again, for the actual reality that we're living in which it happened here. October 7th happened here. So all I'm saying is, at this point, if you are already waking up, Boker Tov, welcome to your Judaism. Welcome to your Jewish awakening. I have several different classes that address this, including cognitive dissonance, including what you got to do, to help you see reality more clearly. If this is not your intention, if you do not want that, fine. You don't have to tell me in my comments. I don't care. You don't want to wake up? Keep sleeping then. When you do wake up, when that Amud Tavach, when the supporting beam falls, remember that there is a God. Remember that there is a Torah. If there's still internet back in that time, whenever that happens, go and look at some rabbis. If you can still buy books, go and get some books. That's all I'm saying. Learn for yourself. Because what the nation of Israel wants is the temple. And in order for that to happen, we need the kingdom of David, who is not going to be somebody's dead Rebbe coming back, okay? So all of that is a lie. All of it is a lie. And the only truth that exists is the truth that has never changed from the get-go, which is in the Torah, which is the guidebook of how to see reality clearly. If you want to see reality clearly, go ahead and start. If you don't want to see reality clearly, then by all means, use your free will to make yourself nice and deluded and rationalize everything that you do and continue being whatever kind of Jew you think is fine. But in the end, there is only one reason that the nation of Israel became a nation. And that wasn't to be the startup nation, wasn't to be one of the 19 centers for the fourth industrial revolution. It was, in fact, to be a holy nation, to serve God, and to bring the spiritual element of our reality into our 5-dimensional reality and to understand that clearly.